After weeks of national trauma, thousands turned out to see Iran's supreme leader in a rare show of strength. The men cheered and chanted as Ali Khamenei railed against Iran's enemies.
Spokesmen for the wicked government of America keep saying that we are standing with the Iranian people. You are lying. If you do stand with the Iranian people, it is because you want to stick your poisoned dagger into the chest of the Iranian nation. You haven't been able to do that so far, and you won't be able to do a damn thing.
His intervention comes after the country's top military commander was killed by US forces earlier this month, triggering a nationwide outpouring of grief and a tragic stampede which saw scores killed. Then came what Iran said was an accidental downing of a passenger jet, killing all 176 people on board. Angry protests engulfed the capital. The Ayatollah lamented the crash, but said Iran was being manipulated.
Some people follow and are guided by American televisions and English radio that try to portray this incident in such a way that the deaths of these two martyrs would be forgotten.
A message heard loud and clear by President Rouhani, who sat among the worshippers. The Ayatollah's presence underscores the crisis. The last time he delivered Friday prayers? In 2012, amid a standoff over its nuclear weapons program.
For more on this story, we have a senior journalist, Dima Tarhini, with us from DW Arabic. Dima, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
The last time that the Supreme Leader spoke at Friday prayers was in 2012. Why do you think he chose to speak now, and what do you think of what he said?
Actually, Khamenei appeared after 8 years simply because he has to. He has to address all the pressure. We're talking about international pressure and also domestic pressure. I will concentrate more on the domestic pressure because it's more important for Khamenei, I think, in my own opinion. I mean, there's anger over downing of a passenger plane. There's also anger over economical situation and U.S. sanctions. There's anger over killing Qassem Soleimani. There's a lot of anger there. So basically, he's stepping in after 8 years to say, I'm still in power. I'm still there, because there were speculations and rumors about his health. And also in order to say, let's unite all together against the enemy. The enemy now is not only the America, the US, but also it's the European Union, the Europeans too. Also, there's another message for the West, what they call the West. It's, we are not weak. Don't underestimate us. It's true that we had so many bad luck lately, but also we can hit anytime and anywhere when we want. We are still strong. Don't underestimate Iran. I think this was the main message for the international pressure.
Okay, so came across with a very strong message. We saw, though, those images of the protests in Iran. Do you think this is going to be enough to take the pressure off the Supreme Leader?
I will explain it very simply, and then you will understand exactly how it works in Iran. Basically, it's the Supreme Leader. He has the main power in Iran. The Supreme Leader is elected by something called Assembly of Experts. Under this umbrella comes, for example, the President and also members of the Parliament. The Assembly of Experts, they are appointed by something called the Guardian Council. The Guardian Council, whose members are appointed by the Supreme Leader. So now you can understand a little bit. The power is totally in the hand of the Supreme Leader, which is Khamenei. He has the last say when it comes to military actions. He has the last say when it comes to political decisions and also economical decisions. And basically, some protesters that they ask for him to step down, based on some reports from Iran, they are now, most of them, they are in jail, activists and also protesters. So I don't think this is going to happen, at least now. It's not going to happen, in my opinion.
There are tensions in Iran. What can the Supreme Leader do at this point to ease those tensions, especially ahead of elections in Iran in February?
Basically, Iran is not playing it very hard. They are playing it smartly when it comes to politics. If I want to talk about the nuclear deal, for example, they are threatening European troops, true. They are threatening American troops, also true, but also they are opening a door for any negotiation. Now, based on which terms, I have no idea. We have to wait and see how the negotiation behind the scenes they are going to be. But also, don't forget, we are not talking about only confrontation, military confrontation. We are talking about also cyber attacks when it comes between Iran and also the US. He's concentrating, the Supreme Leader is concentrating on the domestic opinion now. This is why we saw him today. And also he's opening another door for diplomacy when it comes to the West, the US, and also the European. So we are expecting something's going to happen before the elections in Iran soon.
All right. Dima Tarhini from DW Arabic, thank you for sharing your analysis with us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, earlier this week, Germany, France, and Britain triggered the so-called dispute resolution mechanism on the Iran nuclear deal, and that move could eventually lead to the end of the deal and a return to sanctions. Now, Germany has confirmed media reports that the U.S. earlier pressured the European Union to take action against Iran by threatening to impose tariffs on imports of European cars. Let's bring in DW political correspondent Simon Young for more on this story. Hi, Simon. What do these media reports say, and what do you make of this?
So, Somi, this all comes from a report in the Washington Post earlier this week that, as you say, Donald Trump applied pressure to the European partners in this Iran nuclear deal, and that is to say Germany, France and Britain, by saying that he was ready to impose punitive tariffs up to 25%, for instance, on European car imports to the US. Now, the question of whether that threat was made has been discussed much today, but the government position is that no pressure had any role in the German government's decision and the other European governments as well to trigger the arbitration mechanism, which is intended, they say, to sort of get Iran back on track with the nuclear deal. The JCPOA, which, as you know, has been sort of abandoned by Donald Trump, and the Iranians have said, well, you know, if the Americans aren't playing their part, then we won't either. So, you know, that deal is in peril. The Europeans want to keep it alive if at all possible. So they're saying they took their decision without any pressure. Now, as to the question of whether there was such pressure, Spiegel Online website is reporting today that a senior official in the German foreign minister has confirmed that there was pressure. It seems, according to reports, that Defence Minister Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer has also acknowledged that there was such pressure coming from Washington. Well, the Europeans say that they've been considering this move, triggering arbitration, since the end of last year. But a lot of people are saying, well, you know, in the end, they moved rather hastily. They didn't, for instance, wait for a report from the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is looking into Iran's potential abuses on its nuclear program. So you can make of that what you will. But as far as Berlin is concerned, they say we did not react to pressure from Washington.
Our politics correspondent, Simon Young. Thank you.